Welcome to The Deciding Point, our Cracked Racquets weekly breakdown of the biggest storylines happening throughout the tennis world. On this week's show, I want to talk about how there were 6 ATP and WTA events, but countless storylines that emerged out of last week's tour action. In particular, I'm going to cover the sustained excellence of Pablo Carreño Busta, the continued ascent of players like Casper Ruud, Barbara Krejcikova, Tamara Zidansek. I want to offer an update on where the analytics stand regarding this 2021 season and so much more. With that in mind, Westhoff, roll those credits. Let's start today's show. Shout out to two-time major finalist, former University of Illinois standout Kevin Anderson on earning the title this past week in Newport. You look for Anderson. It's his first title since the start of the 2019 season. Of course, the former Slam finalist has dealt with so many injuries over the past 18 months. To see him competing at the ATP level, 19-16 over his last 52, back into the top 100 now at number 74 with his title this past week. That feels like a victory, and we all know Kevin Anderson's ceiling is not a number 74 player in the world. He's a guy who had reached number 5 in the ATP rankings back in 2018. We know with his power tennis, his length, his ability to move forward, and then his movement for his size, he is a dangerous opponent always, even at this stage of his career. And you look at, for him, quarterfinals onward, to get 3-set wins over Jack Sock and Sasha Bublik, guys who are going to test you physically, who have this sort of power to get you stretched, and so force you to play your own aggressive tennis, force those margins to be even thinner. It's a really good week for Kevin Anderson, and certainly it's a notable data point heading into the summer, because if he gets a wild card into one of these Masters events, whether it's a Rogers Cup, whether it's a Western and Southern, whether we see him perhaps at a City Open or an Atlanta or any of these hardcourt events early in the US Open, he can beat anyone on this surface. When that serve is landing, he can beat you, and certainly he beat Jenson Brooksby in that final. Straight set victory for him, 7-6, 6-4. That power tennis just a little bit overwhelming for Brooksby, but look, Anderson may have ended up in the winner's circle. The biggest victor from Newport, the biggest winner, biggest storyline emerging out of a fantastic event. An event, by the way, that saw Will Blumberg and Jack Sock win the doubles title. And I'm just putting this out there. Jack Sock will have options. If he wants to play with Blumberg, I guarantee you, not only would the US Open have no problem with it, but fans would have no problem with them gifting a wild card, getting that team into the doubles main draw. Obviously, Blumberg, 10-time All-American, one of the most captivating college tennis players ever. Sock, one of the most captivating doubles players, one of the most captivating talents in American tennis of the 21st century. It's a really, really fun team. They earned the doubles title. Blumberg's got top 20 doubles upside. That's a story for another time, but the biggest story was Jenson Brooksby, who's now 32-6. Yes, I said that correctly, and you heard me correctly. 32-6 since the start of this 2021 season. He's won his first 3 challenger titles all in the same year. He qualified for his first Roland Garros. He's into the top 130 of the ATP rankings for the first time in his career. Here this past week in Newport, he makes his first ATP level quarterfinal, semifinal, and final, all while playing in his very first professional grass court event. If you're not sold yet on Jenson Brooksby, I don't know what to tell you, and I've got some numbers for you that I think everyone should be impressed with. He's held serve 80.4% of the time. Now, you see his serve, that second serve very much feels attackable. Anderson did an excellent job of attacking it, keeping Brooksby stretched in the outer thirds of the court, but more importantly, on his back foot. But, Brooksby's still holding 80.4% of the time. That number would be good for 28th, right above Sebastian Korda. And then, of course, it's his skills as a returner that really separate him, where you see perhaps his most elite quality is his ability to get that ball deep and take away your pace, take away your ability to play +1 as a returner off of both wings. You look, he's broken serve 34.4% of the time since the start of 2021. Now, while it's against challenger level competition primarily, that 34.4 number would be good for third amongst top 50 players. He would trail Schwartzman, Nadal, and slot in just above Novak Djokovic. That's how much pressure Jenson Brooksby puts on you. And we saw it all week, whether it was against Kudla, whether it was against Thompson, Anderson, whether it was against Anderson even in the finals, just never count him out of the point. When he's in the outer thirds, that's when his best tennis emerges. The improvisation, the ability to hit that on the run, down the line shot when you expect him and all of his momentum's going cross court, or when you expect, you hit a good enough approach shot. Nope, if he gets his racket on it, he's got the ability to hit a passing shot by you, whether it's short angle cross court, whether he beats you to the spot down the line. Sneaky good length, sneaky good mover. Again, the second serve leaves a little bit to be desired. The first serve does as well, but he's only 20 years old. That is low-hanging fruit, and you look for him now, 5th highest ranked under 21-year-old in the world. He's currently would qualify for a next-gen field that would be spectacular. FAA, Sinner, Korda, Musetti, Brooksby, all in the mix. A couple of other fun 21 and under talents as well. Now, I don't think FAA or Sinner will end up playing the event, but even if they do, you'd still then give guys like Carlos Alcaraz, Juan Manuel Cerundolo, Sebastian Baez, Holger Rune. The Next Gen Finals, the return of the event here in 2021, is going to have an exceptional field, and that exceptional field should include Jenson Brooksby, who has separated himself. He's finally passed Nakashima in the rankings again, 32-6. This is the sort of ascent we saw from Sebastian Korda. His just kind of started last August. Brooksby started here this February, but again, he's into the top 130 for the first time. The top 100 is knocking, and Jenson Brooksby has 0 points to defend this summer. You don't think the summer hard courts are going to be kind to Jenson Brooksby? The winter hard courts were kind to him. The clay courts were kind to him. The grass courts have been kind to him. The summer hard courts are going to be kind to him. And whether it's at the challenger level, which is where his ranking would have him play, but he's going to get wild cards into some major North American hard court events. Jenson Brooksby's the real deal, folks. He's going to have the opportunity to crack the top 100 this summer. You're going to see him on your TV screen. And again, his combination, talent, desire, intensity, all of the above. It's unconventional, but it works. Jenson Brooksby has been one of the unequivocal most improved players, one of the unequivocal winners, breakout stars of this 2021 season. I do not expect that to stop here during the hard court season. And again, Kevin Anderson may have ended up as your victor in Newport. Jenson Brooksby, your biggest winner of what was a fantastic event.